Listen gently and let your heart settle for a moment, because this message is arriving with purpose, not by accident. There is a quiet intervention unfolding in your life right now, one guided by divine care. What you are about to hear is not meant to frighten you, but to awaken you. Heaven is stepping in because your soul matters, your future matters, and your peace matters more than you realize. Right now, divine hands are rearranging your path. You are being guided away from a connection that looks familiar on the surface but carries a weight beneath it that was never meant for you to hold. This is not about judgment or blame. It is about protection. There is a man whose presence feels ordinary, even comfortable, yet his intentions do not align with the purity of your spirit. When the truth becomes clear, the realization will surprise you deeply, not because you were foolish, but because you trusted with a sincere heart. Nothing about this moment is random. The timing is precise because something in your life is reaching a turning point. You are being warned now because waiting any longer would mean allowing confusion to grow roots where clarity should live. Heaven does not rush, but it also does not delay when a soul needs guarding. That is why this awareness is arriving now at this exact moment, when your intuition has already been whispering but your mind kept trying to quiet it. You may have felt subtle discomfort around this person without being able to explain it. Perhaps there were moments when their words sounded kind, yet something inside you felt unsettled afterward. Maybe you questioned yourself, thinking you were overthinking or imagining things. But your spirit has been speaking truth all along. Divine messages often arrive first as feelings before they arrive as facts. This man has smiled in your presence, spoken with charm, and presented himself as safe. Yet behind the scenes, his energy has been misaligned with your growth. What you could not see was seen clearly by heaven. Conversations took place without your knowledge. Intentions were formed that did not include your highest good. And while you continued to show up with honesty, there was a quiet imbalance forming, one that could have led you away from your purpose if left unchecked. Understand this deeply. Divine warnings are not punishments. They are acts of love. When God intervenes, it is because something precious is being preserved. You are being protected from emotional confusion, from spiritual drainage, and from a future that would have required you to dim yourself to keep someone else comfortable. That was never your assignment. There were nights when heaviness appeared without explanation. Moments when your heart felt uneasy even though nothing was visibly wrong. Those were not weaknesses. Those were signals. Your soul sensed a misalignment long before your mind could name it. Heaven watched quietly, waiting until you were strong enough, aware enough, and ready enough to receive the truth without breaking. This connection has hovered too close to your blessings. It delayed clarity, blurred direction, and attempted to attach itself to your future without permission. But what this person did not anticipate was the depth of your spiritual covering. Your connection to God is stronger than any hidden intention. You are not unguarded. You never were. In this season, protection has intensified around you. Divine forces are actively intervening, creating distance where closeness would have caused harm. There is a reason certain conversations have slowed, certain plans have stalled, and certain doors feel harder to open with this person. That is not rejection. That is redirection. Archangel Michael has been standing watch, placing a barrier where danger once tried to pass unnoticed. You are still standing, still clear, still protected, because heaven has been shielding you long before you became aware of the threat. The sword of discernment has already been drawn, separating truth from illusion. When the name becomes clear to you, it will land with a strange mix of shock and relief. Shock because you did not expect it. Relief because everything will finally make sense. The confusion will dissolve. The self-doubt will lift. And in that moment, you will realize that you were never wrong for feeling what you felt. You were simply early in sensing the truth. This awareness marks a moment of awakening. Once your eyes open to this reality, you will never again accept half-truths disguised as kindness. You will no longer ignore inner warnings just to keep the peace. Discernment will become your strength, not your burden. Breathe deeply and allow this understanding to settle softly within you. What is unfolding now is larger than a single connection. It is about alignment. It is about protection. It is about stepping fully into a future where your energy is honored, your trust is respected, and your light is never negotiated. Heaven is pulling back the curtain not to overwhelm you, but to free you. And as this truth anchors itself in your heart, you will feel lighter, clearer, and stronger than before. This is not an ending rooted in fear. It is a beginning shaped by wisdom, divine timing, and deep, unshakable love. Take a slow breath and allow yourself to truly arrive here, because this message is not crossing your path by coincidence. What you are being protected from is not distant, not hidden in some far-off place. This presence has been close enough to influence your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions. Close enough to stand near doors that were meant to open for you. Close enough to affect the atmosphere around your blessings. And yet, until now, you were never meant to see the full picture on your own. There is a moment unfolding where clarity is no longer optional. Something that has been sealed is beginning to open, and once it does, your perception will shift permanently. This is not a warning meant to instill fear, but one designed to restore your discernment. When the truth finally settles into your heart, you will understand why everything had to happen exactly this way. This is why it matters that you stay present, because what is approaching is not small, and it is not symbolic. It is real and it is timely. You have already felt the subtle signs. Those moments when his tone didn't quite align with his words. The pause that lingered too long. The smile that looked convincing on the surface but carried something unresolved behind the eyes. There were interactions where silence felt louder than conversation, where something in you quietly tightened without explanation. You dismissed those sensations, telling yourself you were overthinking, giving the benefit of the doubt, choosing peace over questioning. But what you brushed aside was never ignored by the unseen realm. Every hesitation, every inconsistency, every quiet signal was noticed. Nothing slipped past divine awareness. And now the season has arrived where what was once only sensed is being brought into the light. This unveiling will not creep in slowly. It will strike with clarity, sudden and undeniable, leaving no room for confusion. When it lands, it will feel like a flash that instantly illuminates everything you once questioned. This person has been living in two expressions at the same time. One version presented openly, familiar and approachable. Another version operating quietly beneath the surface, carrying intentions that were never meant to align with your future. What you were offered with one hand appeared safe, even supportive, while the other hand held something concealed. He believed this duality would never be exposed. What he underestimated was the protection surrounding you. He overlooked the fact that you are not walking alone and never have been. You were never meant to walk blindly into something that would cost you your peace, your progress, or your purpose. This is why intervention is happening now. The shock will not come from the truth itself, but from the identity connected to it. The realization will challenge what you thought you knew, because it involves someone you never would have suspected. That is often how these moments arrive. The deepest disappointments rarely come from strangers. They come from familiarity. Understand this clearly. You are not being shown this to hurt you. You are being shown this to release you. What is being removed cannot go where you are going. What is being exposed cannot stand in the place reserved for growth, alignment, and fulfillment. You are being redirected before interference becomes damage. There is meaning in how and when you crossed paths with him. At the beginning, it may have felt synchronistic, even divinely arranged. The connection may have carried a sense of destiny or importance. But not every encounter that feels significant is meant to stay. Some arrive as lessons. Some appear as distractions that look like opportunities. Some test your discernment before greater things unfold. This one was never meant to build with you. His presence carried delay, not expansion. Pay attention to how your inner world responded whenever he drew close. The unease that surfaced without logical explanation. The doubt that followed promises that sounded good on the surface. The heaviness that seemed to accompany his energy, even when nothing was outwardly wrong. That was not imagination. That was your intuition speaking long before your mind could make sense of it. Today, what you felt is being confirmed with understanding. The reason this revelation feels intense is because it involves trust. This is someone you allowed access to your space, your thoughts, your time. Someone who stood within your circle, not outside of it. That is why the realization will feel surprising. But remember this, awareness is not loss. Awareness is freedom. You are being lifted out before his unresolved intentions could intertwine with what is meant for you. What is happening now is protective, not punitive. The weight you feel is not meant to overwhelm you, but to anchor you in truth. Layer by layer, the illusion is being dismantled. Each moment you remain open, another piece of understanding settles into place. You are being shielded from something you were never meant to carry. He observed your kindness, your openness, your willingness to see the good. He assumed those qualities made you vulnerable. What he failed to recognize was that your heart is guarded by something far greater than human perception. Every quiet remark, every hidden motive, every unspoken intention has already been accounted for. None of it is permitted to touch what is destined for you. As you reflect, you may recall moments when things felt too polished, too rushed, too easy. Times when the connection moved forward without the depth it claimed to have. Those were not coincidences. Those were internal nudges guiding you toward discernment. You were being prepared for this awareness long before you consciously realized it. You are not late. You are not naive. You are exactly where you need to be to see clearly now. What is being revealed is making space for something cleaner, lighter, and aligned with who you are becoming. Trust that this clarity is an act of protection. Your path remains intact. Your future remains guarded. And the truth, now closer than ever, is arriving not to disrupt you, but to lead you forward unburdened. Pause for a moment and stay right here with me. I know the instinct is to move on, to scroll past, to tell yourself you'll come back later. But this message is unfolding in layers, and each layer is guiding you toward clarity. What is coming is not random, and it is not dramatic for the sake of drama. It is precise, it is intentional, and it is connected directly to your life, your trust, and the steps you were preparing to take next. The name that is approaching is not unfamiliar. That is why it will catch your breath when it finally lands in your awareness. The surprise will not come from recognizing the person, but from realizing that the version of him you carried in your mind was incomplete. You thought you understood him. You believed you had already seen who he truly was. The moment of shock comes when you see that someone who stood close enough to influence your emotions, your decisions, even your sense of safety, was carrying more than one truth within him. Please hear this gently, because this matters. This revelation is not meant to wound you. It is not meant to shame you for trusting or to make you question your own heart. Heaven does not expose in order to harm. It reveals in order to protect. What is being uncovered now is meant to loosen chains you didn't even realize were forming, to remove delays you thought were just part of the journey, and to lift shadows that were quietly standing in the way of your peace. Stay with this moment. Something is opening, like the final page of a story that suddenly explains all the confusing chapters before it. You are not here by coincidence. This timing is deliberate. This is one of those rare intersections where the spiritual and the practical meet, where intuition, memory, and truth align at the same time. You may feel a strange weight in your chest or a stillness in your thoughts. That is not fear. That is preparation. There is a reason your heart is being steadied right now. Truth has a certain force when it arrives, and heaven is gentle enough to make sure you are ready to receive it. The name is drawing closer, and when it finally becomes clear, there will be an immediate recognition inside you. A quiet, undeniable knowing that says, "Now I see why my spirit was unsettled. Now I understand why the warnings never stopped." You believe this man was meant to walk with you, perhaps even to build something with you. But heaven says his role was different. He was not placed in your life to stay. He was placed to reveal something within you and to test what you would tolerate, excuse, or overlook. His presence followed a pattern. He knew what you valued. He understood how to mirror sincerity, how to speak the language of trust, how to appear safe. What he concealed, however, is what is now being brought forward. Think back to the moments you dismissed, the subtle discomfort you couldn't explain, the pauses in conversation that felt slightly off. The times your heart hesitated even while your mind tried to justify everything. Those were not imagined. They were signals. Each one was a quiet nudge, a soft interruption from heaven saying, "Pay attention. You were never wrong for feeling uncertain. You were perceptive. There are layers connected to his name, things that happened beyond your view. Words exchanged when you were not present. Intentions formed without your knowledge. Decisions made that did not include your well-being. None of this escaped divine awareness. Every whisper was heard. Every hidden motive was seen. And now, what was once concealed is stepping into the light, not to overwhelm you, but to free you. When the realization settles, it may sting for a moment. That initial sharpness is part of waking up. But do not mistake it for regret. Almost immediately after, something else will move through you. Relief, a deep exhale you didn't know you were holding. Suddenly, past interactions will rearrange themselves in your memory, and patterns you couldn't previously explain will make perfect sense. You will recognize how protected you truly were, even when you felt confused. There was divine intervention around you long before you understood why. Protection you could not see, resistance you could not name, delays that felt frustrating but were actually merciful. You were never walking alone. You were being shielded, even from the edge of a trap you almost stepped into. The presence of Archangel Michael was not symbolic. It was active, standing between you and what could have caused deeper harm. You are closer to truth now than you have ever been. This is not the beginning of the journey. This is the unveiling that makes the journey make sense. You are standing at a threshold where intuition becomes confirmation, where every inner warning gathers into one clear message. What you once labeled as anxiety was discernment. What you once thought was overthinking was actually foresight. The name that is surfacing belongs to someone whose voice you recognize, whose presence once felt familiar, whose nearness felt normal. That is what made this so subtle. That is why it took time. But heaven is clear now. This is the one you are being redirected away from. His charm was not aligned with truth. His promises did not carry longevity. His intentions were not rooted in light. What appeared steady on the surface carried shadows underneath, and those shadows are no longer being allowed to hide. When the clarity fully lands, you will look back at every exchange, every silence, every moment of confusion, and you will understand your own reactions in a new way. You will see how your soul was always ahead of the story, sensing what your mind had not yet accepted. This is not loss. This is liberation. This is the kind of awakening that restores your trust in yourself. Heaven does nothing without purpose, and the purpose here is protection, redirection, and freedom. You are being cut loose from something that was never meant to define your future. The unveiling is close now, closer than a breath, closer than a thought. And heaven has waited until your heart was strong enough, grounded enough, and ready enough to receive it without breaking. Stay present. The atmosphere around you is thick with truth, and what was once held back is about to be spoken clearly. This is not a whisper anymore. This is a declaration of care over your life. You are at the final door, and behind it is understanding. When it opens, you will not feel lost. You will feel steady, aware, and finally free. Listen for a moment and let your spirit slow down, because this is not random and it is not arriving late. For a long time, signs were being sent your way, but you didn't yet have the clarity to read them fully. Now that clarity has arrived. This is the moment when the pieces finally begin to fit, when confusion starts to loosen its grip, and when the weight you've been carrying without knowing why begins to lift. Please don't rush past this. There is something powerful waiting for you here, something meant to shift the way you see everything. The truth that is approaching you is not coming to wound you or shake your foundation. It is coming to free you. That is why this moment has been chosen so carefully. Heaven does not expose without purpose. It reveals so that you can breathe again, walk forward without fear, and stop doubting your own inner voice. What is about to surface is not distant or unfamiliar. This is not about a stranger from the outside. The man connected to this revelation has been close enough to influence your days, familiar enough to feel trusted, present enough to move freely within your space. He has been visible, approachable, even comfortable to you. That is what makes this moment so intense. What you are sensing now is the beginning of the mask slipping away. And when it finally falls, the recognition will move through you like a sudden wave. The name you are about to realize will not feel foreign. It will land with force precisely because of how familiar it is. Stay with this moment because this is not only about identifying someone else. This is about your path realigning. The instant clarity arrives, your heart will settle into truth. The tightness in your chest will ease. Your steps will feel steady again, no longer guided by uncertainty. Do not turn away now. You are standing at the threshold of understanding. The next few moments carry weight. The awareness you are stepping into could arrive quietly or all at once. But when it does, it will change how you see past interactions, unexplained discomfort, and those subtle inner alarms you kept questioning. You were never imagining them. You were never being overly cautious. Your spirit was paying attention long before your mind could explain why. This revelation is heaven stepping in to say that you were protected even when you felt unsure. The discomfort you felt around this man, the heaviness that appeared without a clear reason, the moments when something felt slightly off but you couldn't name it, those were not coincidences. They were gentle warnings layered into your everyday life, waiting for the right time to be understood. And that time has arrived. The one connected to this truth believed his intentions were concealed, his actions unnoticed, his plans hidden beneath normalcy. But nothing escapes divine sight. Every word spoken in secrecy, every motive tucked behind kindness, every step taken while assuming no one was watching has always been known. Now that knowledge is being brought to you not to scare you, but to shield you. You are not being exposed to pain. You are being removed from deception. When the realization settles in, you may feel a moment of shock, not because you didn't know this person, but because you did. Betrayal cuts deepest when it comes from the place you felt safest. And that is why this message matters. This man is not far away. He is close. The surprise will come from recognizing that the one you trusted was never meant to walk with you into your future. Do not be afraid. You are not alone in this moment. Heaven is not stepping back. It is standing beside you, steady and firm. What is being uncovered now is cutting the final thread that kept you connected to an illusion. You are being released from a false image so that you can move forward without confusion clouding your discernment. Stay present with this. The clarity you've been waiting for is closer than you realize. Your spirit already senses it. That trembling feeling inside you is not fear. It is recognition. It is the knowing that you are finally standing face to face with truth. When the name becomes clear in your heart, it will not only reveal who he is, it will reveal who you are. It will remind you of your strength, your intuition, and how deeply protected you have always been. Every restless night, every unexplained pause, every moment of silence that felt louder than words was guiding you here. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was ignored. The timing was intentional. And now, as this understanding comes into focus, you will realize that your life is shifting away from confusion and toward freedom. Remain here. Let this moment complete itself. The truth is no longer distant. It is right in front of you, ready to be acknowledged. This is the moment when clarity replaces doubt, when protection replaces vulnerability, and when heaven's voice rises above all others to say, "You are safe, you are guided, and you are one step away from seeing everything as it truly is." Pause for a moment and feel the stillness around you, because something sacred is pressing its way forward right now. There is a truth that has been waiting behind the quiet, and it is no longer willing to stay hidden. Heaven itself is intervening, declaring that your eyes will not remain clouded, that your heart will no longer be left guessing. What has been concealed is rising to the surface, not to harm you, but to finally set you free. You may sense it already, that sudden tightness in your chest, that awareness that seems to come from nowhere, that feeling that the atmosphere around you has shifted. This is not imagination, and it is not coincidence. It is recognition. Your spirit knows when something real is approaching. Heaven is drawing close, and there is a reason you are still here, still listening, still reading. Something important has been preserved just for this moment. The person connected to this revelation believed they could keep wearing their disguise indefinitely. They assumed their role would never be questioned, that their carefully crafted image would remain intact. But nothing false can survive when divine light is turned toward it. Sooner or later, every mask fractures, and the cracks are forming now. You may remember small details that once seemed harmless. The way their kindness appeared suddenly, almost on cue. The way their timing felt flawless, almost rehearsed. At the time, it looked like care, maybe even destiny. But heaven is showing you now that it was strategy, not sincerity. Even then, you were never alone. Long before you understood the danger, protection was already wrapped around you. That is why the plan never fully worked. That is why you are standing at the edge of clarity instead of trapped in confusion. You are here because heaven refused to let you walk any further into something that was never meant to hold you. Stay present. Do not rush past this moment. The truth is closer than you think, nearer than your next breath. When it finally lands, it may feel sharp at first, like cold water against your skin. But almost immediately, there will be relief, a deep exhale, a sense of release that tells you, now I understand. What has puzzled you for so long will finally arrange itself into meaning. This revelation has been approaching quietly, step by step. Every hesitation you noticed in his voice, every pause that felt heavy, every promise that sounded beautiful but never quite settled in your heart. Those were not random impressions. They were markers along the path leading you here. You were not overthinking. You were perceiving. Your spirit was already aware, even when your mind tried to dismiss it. The man you are being warned about stood close enough to feel familiar. He blended light and shadow so well that it was difficult to tell where one ended and the other began. He believed he could move unnoticed, that he could play both sides without consequence. But heaven has removed the covering. The illusion has collapsed, and the truth no longer needs to wait. When the identity becomes clear, it will not be a distant name, not a stranger passing through your life. It will be someone you trusted, someone you allowed near your heart, someone whose presence felt safe at the time. That is why the realization will hit deeply. But do not mistake depth for destruction. This knowing will not break you. It will strengthen you. The brief sting of recognition will give way to lasting freedom. This is not exposure for the sake of pain. This is protection in its purest form. God is drawing a boundary around your future and saying that deception will not be allowed to follow you any further. This is your moment to step out of hidden restraint and into clarity. The truth is not coming to punish you. It is coming to unburden you. Feel how intense the atmosphere seems right now. That heaviness is not fear. It is revelation pressing forward, insisting on being known. Every second you have remained here has been preparing your spirit to receive what is about to be revealed without collapsing under its weight. Heaven never unveils without first strengthening the one who must see. Think again about the patterns. How his actions always seemed just right, almost too polished. How his words felt borrowed, as if spoken from a script rather than a heart. How something within you stayed alert even when everything on the surface appeared calm. These were not flaws in your perception. They were signals. And now all those fragments are coming together into one undeniable truth. You do not need to be afraid of what comes next. When the name is finally clear, you will rise, not fall. The clarity will answer questions you carried silently for so long. It will explain the unease you could never fully name, the nights your spirit felt restless without reason. Understanding will replace confusion, and peace will take the place of doubt. You are not facing this moment alone. Heaven is actively guarding you, and even now there is divine protection surrounding your life. Archangel Michael is standing watch, ensuring that this truth cuts only what needs to be cut and leaves you whole, protected, and free. Do not look away now. Do not distract yourself at the threshold. The unveiling is right here, balanced on the edge of your awareness. One more moment, one more breath, and what was hidden will be fully visible. When it happens, your understanding of the past will shift, and with it, your path forward will become clear. God is drawing a firm line and saying that this is enough. Enough confusion, enough second-guessing, enough silent endurance. The truth is stepping into the open so that you can walk unbound. This is your hour of clarity. This is your release. Stay with this moment. The revelation you have been waiting for is not somewhere far away. It is arriving now, and when it does, it will not leave you shattered. It will leave you free.